Good morning and afternoon, evening to all viewers. How are you, Shamma, today?
Hi.
It's it's wonderful to have you here, and also wonderful to have all the viewers that have made it this morning and this afternoon. So let's make this session more interactive. So again, feel free to ask any questions and leave comments. And if you are joining us live, please share with us where you're watching from. And if you are watching the recording, use the hashtag your name live replay and leave your thoughts. So just going to be doing a bit of introduction to myself. So I'm Jerry Wong. I'm a product owner working within the higher education sector. I've been using ServiceNow for about 7 years, and mainly the products I've been using for ServiceNow is IT service management professional, HRSD, so that's human resource service delivery, and kind of looking at the different areas around virtual agent and Teams integration. But I'll hand over to Shamma to give her introductions, and I'll just keep a look out in the chats. Just give you a shout out to anyone in the chats as well.
Thank you so much, Jerry. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining. And myself, Shamma. And, I've experienced close to 11 years in service now. I've been working as a technical architect. I have experience on different modules, which is, ITSM, Scope DAP, CSM, HRSD, and a lot more. And today we would be, covering on Creator Studio, that what exactly this all about, how it can help the citizen developer and to create the app without having much knowledge of the coding. So let's start today's session. I'm excited.
I'm excited as well, Shamma, and thank you for that introduction. Just going to give a quick shout out to some of the people in our chat. So we've got William Khan. Morning, William. Nice to see you here in the chat. We've also got a two. Yeah, great to see you too. And thank you.
Thank
You
you
have
so much
given
for
me
joining.
and Shama the motivation to do this stream. So we've literally
Absolutely.
just jumped in with both feet and we're just going to give it a go and see how it goes. Morning, Matt Warwick. How you doing, buddy? Nice to see you as well. So Matt actually works with me at the higher education organization that I work with. Cool. Was it and William, you're in your dining room on a farm in sunny Sussex in UK. Looking forward to this. Oh, great. We are looking forward to it as well. And hopefully you get some good value out from what we're showing today. So again, ask any questions, engage, and what I'll do is I'll move over to the next part, which Shama will give us a bit of an overview of what's happening today on our agenda.
So hi everyone, today we are going to cover Creator Studio overview, and we are going to cover what exactly citizen developer is all about. What is citizen developer. Then probably we'll go ahead and show you the live demo of the Creator Studio on our PDI, how you can go ahead and create the applications, how exactly the playbook works in the Creator Studio. If you have less knowledge on coding, you still can go ahead and create your own applications. So that's amazing, platform that ServiceNow has given us. And then we will cover the summary that what we have covered during the session, what is from the technical perspective and from the functional process owner perspective we are going to cover this session. So I hope you will enjoy the session. That's all about the agenda for today.
Thank you, Shama. And what I'll do now, I'll move over to your presentation, which is the Creator Studio overview, and we'll cover some Q&As as well. Okay, so over to you, Shama. Oops, let me 1 second.
So basically, I'll cover what is Creator Studio. Creator Studio is a platform that has been given in the Washington release by ServiceNow. It is a service that is being provided, on the platform, that people who has less experience on the coding part and the people who are working from a business process owners perspective or business experts, they can go ahead and create their own application, right, with just few clicks. So how, and how they can create the application, will show you in the demo. But this is all about that it helps breaking the barrier that people, initially when the service now got started, only the people who has experience in the coding, they can create the applications. But now It's no more there. People who has no experience, less experience, they also can go ahead and create the applications. It allows business experts like Jerry, like Atul, they can actually go ahead and create their own applications. They can create the playbooks as well. So it's a very good platform, or the features that has been given by ServiceNow in the Washington release. So next slide. So, how, what all are target audience? Target audience are non-developer who has less experience in ServiceNow, in the coding perspective. Then it also helps the business experts in creation the application. They just have to do a drag and drop, and they can go ahead and create the applications. It also helps the product owners, the business analyst roles who's working. They can go ahead and create the applications. So they hardly need any practice, that they should know the scripting part of it. They should know how you can go. So just by doing some drag and drop options, they can go ahead and create the applications. They also can create the forms. It has created a very useful UI, which is provided by ServiceNow. So we'll quickly show you later on that what exactly that UI is all about. But it's a very user friendly UI that initiated or given by ServiceNow. It people can take an advantage of this UI and start creating the application from their own. Next slide, please. So, what are the benefits of Creator Studio? Benefit is actually empowers and add values to a people who are no code developers or a citizen developers. It helps converting the business processes into apps. So people, all kind of roles. There are different roles of people who are working in the company, in the organization. They can go ahead and convert the business processes to the applications. It also saves time because it has a unique feature of building an application without having scripting written on the same. It helps expanding development with less risk on that. It also allows the admins, who are people who are admins, who are working kind of a supporting role. They also can go ahead and develop the app easily. So that's all about the benefits of Creator Studio, which is released in Washington release. Next slide, please. So next, basically, what is a release compatibility? In which release this particular feature can be utilized? To use this feature, we should have the Washington DC release and patch 3, and the hotfix should be 1. So Washington DC release patch 3 hotfix 1, we can go ahead and install the Creator Studio plugin. With the help of this plugin, we can utilize all the features of the Creator Studio application. So next slide. Now comes what exactly features this Creator Studio application provides. It provides a user friendly UI, which has a dragon option, as I already said, that people just have to take some components and put it in the form. And it has a lot of components, like you can create your own form. You can create different types of form just by choosing some drop down values. It also provides automation like playbook, right? So you must have heard this word playbook, but playbook is just like, because as we all like developers who write the scripting, right? But playbook is all about wherein you can just doing some drag and drop and create your own workflows without having a single piece of coding in that. So I think that's one of the best thing that I've seen so far in Creator Studio, that it gives you an option to create the workflows, which is called as a playbook. So we'll show you that later on as well. Next slide. So what all roles does it provide? Once we install that Creator Studio application, it provides you a different kind of roles in ServiceNow. If I talk about the roles, it has the requester roles, it has the right role, the people who can actually go ahead and do the right operations. It has the restricted user role, it has the admin right role as well. So there are different roles which are given by Creator Studio application. With the help of these roles, you can decide that which user can do what. Like there are some user who just want to see the application, see the forms. There are some user who want to make the changes to the form. So with the help of these roles, you can actually go ahead and decide that what all things you want to show it to a user, and in the various way how you can restrict people to do any changes to that particular Creator Studio application. Okay, so these are the roles which are given, and the last one, that what all feature does it add? So it was added in May 2024 when the Washington was released. It has a feature called as form request submission. So you can go ahead and submit the request. You can go ahead and create the playbook. You can create the automation. So, it has an option to create the playbook via automation. It also gives you a very good feature, which is workspace, right? So when you create an application, you have to create the workspace as a different or a separate entity, right? But if you create an application from the creator studio, it gives you an capability or option that by default it creates a workspace for that as well. So I think that's one of the very good feature that creator studio is giving you. In the workspace, it gives you how many open requests are there, how many closed requests are there. So by default there are various queues that has been provided by ServiceNow. And then it also gives you a preview, right? The preview option wherein you can check that on the portal how exactly my application will look like, on the Now mobile how exactly my application will look like. Then the second last would be deployment. So it also aligns your application with the deployment, which is a pipeline, right? So in the pipeline, it helps you to align your application and go via pipeline for the deployment. So in order to move your application from one instance to another, it gives you that capability that you can create the pipelines. You can allow that particular application to move via pipeline. The last would be form elements. So it helps you to create different form elements. You can actually go ahead. So once you start creating the record producer for the application via creator studio, it helps you create different form elements, different type of fields on the form. So you can create your reference field, you can create your drop down, you can create different type of fields on the record producer via creator studio just by doing a drag and drop. So once you start creating the application, it gives you an option to create your record producer, and you have as I tested on PDI, you have option to use the templates as well. So you can use the templates and you can create your form. So I think that's all about what exactly creator studio capability it has. It gives you all the options that how to create an app, how to put a naming convention of your app, how to actually go ahead and create the record producer in your application, how you can go ahead and create the playbook or the automation, or in other words we can say the workflow for your app, right? What will happen when your record producer is submitted? So this is how it can actually give you all the feature in just one single place, right? So one stop shop for everything that you can build in ServiceNow. So initially, prior having this particular feature in ServiceNow, we used to create the application, then we used to go to record producer and link that particular record producer to our tables, and then it we used to create the workspace from a separate place, right? So now ServiceNow has given you one stop shop to create everything from a single place, and in a very easier UI, very easy UI, and in a very simple manner. So I think these are the overview that I want to cover, that what exactly creator studio is all about. Now over to you, Jerry, for your part.
Well, what we'll do, Shama, we'll just go to some questions and answers. So again, we'll just have a few minutes of this. I've seen again what's in chat, but thank you, Shama, it's a great overview presentation of what Creator Studio is. But I think just quickly ask you then, how have you found it since it's launched?
Sorry, I missed that. Could you come back again?
So how have you found Creator Studio since it's launched? You've had to play around with it. I think it's probably
Yeah,
knowledge
so I've
transform.
actually created this application on my PDI, and I've also created one playbook, right, for my application. So it's a very good, very user friendly, I would say. It's a very good platform that ServiceNow has given to all of us.
That's great. And I've got Akash from on LinkedIn. He's just added a comment to say, good to know this as a studio for developers and Creator Studio for non-developers. So I think it's a bit of a differentiator, really. So again, you might not need much knowledge or training around software development. So it kind of gives you that kind of that sandbox environment. So very much like Power Automate, similar technologies that you can use. Had another question again from Akash is, how different is this from AES? So I'm assuming AES is App Engine Studio.
That's right. Yeah. So I have used App Engine Studio to create different tables in order to upload the Excel sheet and to upload to upload the Excel sheet and to create different type of tables on that particular App Engine Studio. So it gives you that shortcut that you don't have to actually create all the fields on that table. Just uploading Excel sheet will create uh, all the fields on that particular table. But I think in order to create it from the App Engine Studio, uh, I think I have to, go more deeper into that and see that what exactly the major difference between it. But as far as I have done so far, I've just created few multiple tables by giving the table name from the App Engine Studio. But Creator Studio is like it gives you, so you cannot. I think you cannot create the workspace from that. It gives you a lot of different options, via Creator Studio to create tables, to create form, to create application, to create workspace. So I think all collaborative way they have given you one single feature.
Great, thank you, Shamma. I got another question from William. He's asked, the question is, when creating, say, a playbook as a newbie, how do you know you are doing it in line with normal methods or process that an experienced ServiceNow coding person would know?
So I think when you should first know, right, what exactly the process you are going to build. So you should have a planning of that process. And when, as a newbie, when you are going to create a new playbook, you will have minimal options like a request for approvals, create tasks. So there are 4 to 5 activity that has been given by ServiceNow. So if you're very new, you should one time you should just try creating a playbook, try creating some simple activities like request for approval, and create a task. And then you should just try doing some testing for your own record producer or your own form, and see how exactly does it look like. If it works exactly the way you wanted, I think you need to do some hit and try, if you are a newbie, if you're trying for a very first time. But I think for the people who knows that how to, if you click on create task, you should know that what this particular task should be assigned to group, right? So there are only very minimal activity that you have to do. Just click on create task activity, then just select the group that you want this particular task to be assigned to. I think that's all, you're good to go. So there are hardly 2 to 3 tasks that you need to perform if you're doing from a playbook perspective.
Thank you, Shamma. And yeah, Billy has said, yes, understood you, and thank you for answering that question. And thank you, everyone, for asking those questions as well. So if there are any more questions for Shamma, please put that into the chat. We can come back to you later on that. But I'll move over to my section as well. So just bear with me. Right, so I'm going to be talking more around from a product owner perspective around the citizen developers, and kind of just give you some use cases, examples of what that could look like. And I think Shamma's very much talk about more of the kind of technical overview of what Creative Studio can do, but I want to talk more about what from a process perspective, or from a business user perspective, and also from a product owner, how we can ensure that we've got some sort of guidelines that from a development team perspective is how can we ensure that excuse me, we're in a way we're handing like keys over to the business to be able to use ServiceNow as a platform. So what is a citizen developer? So I think let's just consider a real life example for some context. Shamma, I'm just going to use you as an example here. Shamma kind of works in the admin department as an end user. She's a non-IT employee. She has no formal programming or training, but she's got access to tools and platforms such as Creator Studio, and has the ability really kind of to be able to create applications that kind of meets her business needs. But also one of her focus areas that she needs to be able to address immediate business concerns. So Creator Studio, I feel it's a great capability that's really designed to be kind of like user friendly, like very like no code as well. But basically enabling people without a technical background and be able to actually develop functional applications very quickly. Okay, so why should we use, why use citizen developers? As I mentioned on the previous slide, Shamma's main focus is really kind of addressing those immediate business concerns. I think without a citizen developer program, kind of the ideal way that she wants a application to be built, she would need to submit requests to IT to be able to develop those solutions, which then gets added to a growing backlog of work. I think if you would agree with me, IT resources are constantly under pressure to, really kind of modernize technology infrastructure, the applications, and again, depending on their the digital agendas, their digital transformations. They're just competing priorities where, it's focusing on project work, focusing on enhancement BAU work. So I think this is where having a citizen developer program can really kind of assist in development of any kind of business critical applications. And in a way, it's freeing up those IT departments to be able to focus more on those projects that really kind of demand those technology expertise. So in a way, let's look for opportunities where, if it's a very simple application that the business can build, let's kind of shift that left to give the empowerment back to our business users, be able to, again, what I mentioned, free up those IT development users as well. And I think again, we do need that business agility as well. And I think sometimes we all know, the business can't wait for IT teams to build that application. They want it either tomorrow or they either want it yesterday. But if we can provide, the right system development policies, the training and tools are in place, we can provide business users that can build their own solutions rather than waiting for the development team to build. But I also think that it's quite essential that both system developers and IT teams ensure that the development projects kind of adhere to established governance frameworks as well. But also as well, I think it's quite important and beneficial as well that we've got business process users, are in that right space and right frame of mind to basically have expertise in their own business process as well, and really understanding what business challenges and problems they're trying to solve with the capabilities like Creator Studio. Okay, so some kind of best practices for citizen developer. I think, again, as I mentioned, we need to ensure that we have kind of a robust citizen developer process. I think this kind of will include things like the best practices, such as creating a plan. I think without jumping straight into saying, right, I'm just going to create an app, but I think you need to have a plan. You need to really understand, what's the problem, what's the business problem you're trying to solve, understand what the immediate and long-term benefits of the applications you're building, and asking, relevant questions really to understand, why are we, the why question is, why are we building an application? Is it because we're trying to make the customer experience better? Are we trying to look for better reporting metrics? Maybe it's better automation or workflow across different departments. So again, really kind of asking those questions to business and really kind of understand, right, we need to understand from a business efficiency, a customer experience as well, and really kind of understanding that adoption, because what you don't want it to be doing is just building so many different applications or forms and it's not being adopted correctly. And again, it's, what you want to do is be put in applications that really add that value. And I think we also need to kind of clearly define roles and expectations for how citizen developers also interact with IT departments, because we need to ensure that they understand what they can do and also what they can't do. So we need some guardrails in there. But I think also as well there is a another really good benefit. I think having citizens developers with IT developers and IT departments is they have benefits of IT oversight and support and understanding those security requirements without the IT department simply becoming another arm of the development process. So, what I'm saying here is we have a standardized framework so we can avoid reinventing that wheel and the development wheel, which then hopefully can speed up the development cycles and we can ensure that consistency across different applications we build. Okay, and some use case examples, which I've just put three there. That again, we again, so some examples there. Very keep it simple use cases. I think the first one we'd kind of just put there about a meeting room booking system. How we can be able to facilitate the reservation of meeting rooms. We can allow users to be able to check room availability and having those kind of reminders as well, sending to the users of booked meetings. Another one is a visitor management system. So registers visitors upon arrival, prints badges for visitors, able to maintain a security log for all the visitors as well. So a bit of an audit trail there as well. And the third one, especially in the higher education sector, is a student travel tracker, which can enable the students to be able to log travel details when they go out on their student travels. So again, if let's say their country had an emergency, then at least we've got some of the records of where they've traveled from and some emergency details to inform some of their family members as well. And we can maintain a record of their travel history as well. So that's me for that for those slides. So thank you. So if you've got any kind of questions, I'll move into the Q&A section. Shamma, I don't know whether you've been monitoring the comments, but have you got any questions for me, or have you got any questions from the chat?
I think no. As of now, I didn't see any questions.
Okay.
So
If
that
we
should be
haven't got
fine.
any questions, but again, if there are questions later on about the citizen developer and any of the use cases, then put into the chat and we can always get back to you on that. But what we'll do next, we'll move over to Shamma's overview, actually, a live demo overview. Actually, one moment. We just had a question that has just come in via Cash.
Yeah.
So very good. Let's just have a quick look, read off what Akash said. So, ensuring governance might be from planning perspective, but not
Yeah.
technically, I guess. Well, I mean, it can apply for both, really. I mean, you kind of got obviously, obviously a governance from a business perspective as well. I think making sure that any apps are created. So if you think about from a say an enterprise service management perspective, you've got ServiceNow that's using across the organization. I think we need to make sure we've got that consistency in terms of how those apps are being built. Have we got the right standards around the user experience as well? Because what we want to make sure is we have the right level of user experience that the user be able to use an application or adopt an application perfectly as well. And also probably possibly like reporting metrics as well, reporting on in terms of how do we obtain information to be able to actually make better informed decisions as well based on the data that we collect. Okay, hopefully Cash that answers that question. And again, thank you for that question as well. All right, Shamma, we'll move over to the live demo session. So I'll move that over to you.
Okay,
So
I think
you
Ajay
should.
from India has joined now. Thank you, Ajay, for joining. I see a comment from.
Morning or afternoon, AJ. How you doing?
Okay, now I'll quickly share my screen and show the demo that how exactly we need to proceed and uh, okay, so share. Okay, 1 second. I'll just share. So first, I'll share the dashboard, right, which we have with for Creator Studio. So if you actually go to your ServiceNow instance, you just have to type Creator Studio keyword in the in the application navigator, and
Oh,
once you type
moment,
that,
sorry, Shamma. Apologies. I need to share your screen, so apologies.
Oh,
So
I'm
you
sorry.
just
Okay,
start
go ahead.
again.
Is it visible now?
It's visible. Yeah, apologies. First time
Perfect.
doing this, so thank you.
Okay, no problem. So you need to type the Creator Studio keyword in the application navigator, and then you will land up to this particular dashboard, which is Creator Studio dashboard. Now I've created one of the applications already in my PDI. If you actually want to go ahead and create your new application, you have to hit this plus icon. So once you hit this plus icon, you just let's say that SN Jerry demo application. So you just have to type in the name and the description, and you will see that by default ServiceNow is taking the backend application ID based on the name that you're providing, and it also giving you a vendor prefix based on the instance that you're on. It is giving you a scope name as well, which is the final scope name for your scope application. So once you are done, you just have to click on create app here, and once you actually click on create app, it will create the application for you in just few seconds. So you see I've already hit the create app button. Now you see that it is actually taking few moments to create the application. Now once hardly it take few seconds to create the application, and it has created the in the background, it has created the table as well corresponding to this application. So we have, as of now, we have two templates, right, by default, which is given by ServiceNow. So we have two templates. We can select which template we want to use, and we can just, let's say that I'm picking Creator Studio default template. I just want to see this template. I hit apply this template. So as soon as I say apply this template, it will just ask me in which particular catalog do you want to see your record producer, your form should be in, right? So I'll select this particular catalog. Then I also wanted my catalog should go under facilities category, right? So I have to actually click on this particular arrow. I go to that particular category, which is facilities, and I have to hit save and continue. So the good part is that it also allows you to select multiple categories. So you can have your record producer or the form on the portal visible under multiple categories. So let's say I select hardware as well. Now it will be visible under facilities and under hardware. Now I have to click save and continue. So you see there are hardly few clicks which I need to make, and system is doing everything from the back end for me. Now you see I have different views over here, which is portal view, now mobile, and virtual agent. So I have three different questions which are available for me. I can see it that this is how the form will look like in the portal view. How exactly it will go in the Now Mobile. I can click on Now Mobile from here. It will show the view. What it is going to be viewed as a mobile view. Now you see, I can see the mobile view as well. I think it must be loading. Yeah, you see I can see the mobile view as well, that how exactly your application or your form will look like in the mobile. Now you also have an option to view your application or the form in the virtual agent as well, that how your application will your form will look like, how people can raise the request, right? So you have all the options available over here. So you can just type the name of your request, and based on the name of the request, it will give you the request details, or it will submit the request for you. Now I'll show you that how exactly you can go ahead and edit the application form for you, right? So you see I have three questions. Now I don't want this question one, two, three should come up. So I'll quickly go ahead, and I can actually edit those questions as well. So just showing an example, you click on that question, it asks you what is the question label. Now you have the option that please enter submitter submit a name, right? So it will ask you what is now this is the instruction as well. It asks you what is the content type. So content type is nothing, it's just asking you what is the type of that particular field or the variable that you're choosing for. So I have multiple options over here. I just have to select that, what my type should look like. Now let's say that I want it should go ahead and search it from the table. So I have record choices. Record choices mean it will go ahead and search from the table for me, right? So I have the source table available here. I just have to select the user table. Now it will fetch the user records for me. So isn't it that simple? I have to make it as mandatory. I can go ahead and just check this box, mark as required, and click on save and close. Now it will do everything for me. You see, it has put it mandatory. It has changed the name of the field as well. So this is as simple as this. You just go ahead and create your own form for yourself. You can actually make it as mark is ready. Once you do that, this particular form is available for you. You can go ahead and create your own form. So I'll show an example which I've already created, for my application, which is SN learning request. So I've already created a form which took, I think, 10 minutes probably to create it for me. So I have created all the forms. I can select the submitter name. I can select the ID. I can provide the course name over here as well. So based on what exactly form you want it should look like, you can select your form as well. Now let's say I want to go for Gen AI course. I'll type the course name. I have both the options available, which is save as draft, which is the option given in Washington release.
Shama, just
Right.
going to interrupt you there. Sorry, because the screen's not appearing that what you're sharing at the moment. So I'm still seeing
Oh,
your
sorry.
request forms
Okay.
there.
Let me go ahead and share the screen again.
No worries. It's always fun when we're doing a live session, isn't it? So
I think I have to share it from here. Then it will be visible. Okay. Yes. Is it visible now?
let me just double check. Yep, that's appearing now for me.
Perfect.
Shama,
So
hopefully
it
that's
says
appearing for all the
SN
viewers
learning
as well.
request. It has a whole form which I've created for myself for my application, which I've already created. It has a submitter name, it has the ID, it has a course name I have to provide over here. And then I have both the options available, which is save as draft and submit. So this is one of the options which has recently launched by ServiceNow in Washington release. That is, you can save your submission, right? Let's say that you forgot the details of your course. Now you want to go ahead and search the details. You can just save it as draft, and then later on you can come and open the draft version for yourself. So now I'm going to submit the request, and as soon as I submit the request, this particular request will give me a task number. And you see this task number. So this is also the scope table which has been created by ServiceNow. So as soon as you create an application from the Creator Studio, it creates a table at the backend, and that particular table, is actually a custom scope table which is created for your own application. So I have opened that particular record which is created. You see SN learning app request, it has the task number over here, and this is the particular table name, which is x underscore my application keyword, and then I have the table keyword. It has created this request table for me. This is by default behavior of ServiceNow. Now you see you have all the things available with you. Now if I actually show you, I'll quickly I want to show you the playbook, right, which I've created. So I just use very simple steps to create the playbook. So what I did, I created this particular app, and then I actually used two activities from the playbook, which is request for approval and the create task. So as I said, it's just a drag and drop activity. You can just drag it through and utilize the whole feature. So this is all about the playbook that I've created. Very simple, that you just have to hit this plus icon over here. Once you click the plus icon, you have two options or three options available. This is add an activity, this is add a decision. So this all you see approved and else, this is a decision which is going above and down. And when I say activity, These are the activities which are given by ServiceNow, which is request approval assigned to create task. So as of now, I've used a very simple activities that once my request is submitted, right, it should go to request approval. If it is approved, then it should go to create task. Otherwise, it will come here else and click on assign to. So what exactly I've used it? I've clicked on this plus icon for the request approval. I went over here, which is square, add an activity. I clicked on request approval. This is first part. And for this particular one, what I did, I clicked on plus again. I clicked on this one. You see, as soon as I clicked on this one, it created the whole branch for me. But I don't want to use it, so I'll just say delete. Let's see if I'm able to do it. Yeah, I have to press the delete button from here, and I just have to say, I just have to drag one. Okay, 1 second. I'll just reload the page because I didn't activate this particular version. So as soon as I reload the page, I will see the back version again. I also want to show you, okay, I think I have to just, let me quickly. So from this, right, this is the dot. You have to connect these two dots together. You see, from dot to dot, it has connected my whole workflow together. And if I want to remove it, I can just remove it by, I just have to select it and say remove. It will be removed. 1 second, let me try if it does. Yeah, you see this option? It says delete. Modifying this will invalid reference, so I don't want to delete it, but this is how you can actually perform the deletion operation as well. And let's say that you already have an activity, you want to edit that activity, you can just click the pencil icon over here and you can go ahead and you can change the, so let's say I want to change request approval for SN learning app, right? I can change the name over here. I can also, change the person that it is going for approval. You also have a very good option. I remember that we used to write the scripting for this particular thing, that if you want to send it for a manager approval, you just have one checkbox, it will go for a manager approval as well. So I think it is very, you see the name has been changed now. I have to go here and activate it. Now, I already have a approval here, which has gone to Fred Ludi, right? So I just have to approve this particular approval based on my custom playbook created on it. I go ahead and I just want to approve it. So if it is approved, right, what exactly it will do? It will create the whole new task for me. So based on the playbook, it's just like a workflow, right? So once your approval is approved, you see a new task has been created, which I actually created via this particular activity. So once it is approved, it will go ahead and create a task. So just by following these practice, it has a lot to do in playbook. And you don't have to write a single line for a coding. You just can do drag drop, just click on this plus icon and just select whatever activity you want to add it will just do that for you. So I think, yeah, that's one of the very good feature that I explored. And yeah, that's all about, I think that's the, we also see the dashboard. And one more thing, that once your record producer, the form is created, right, it is, once you mark that particular record producer as ready, it is immediately ready on your portal. You can go to your portal and you can see the request. It's there already, you can submit it from the portal as well. So I think, yeah, that's a very unique UI that ServiceNow has given us, and we have all the capability it is provided. It has also created a custom table for me, and when the best part is that when you actually go and see the table, right? So it is a shortcut table name .config. It shows you a configuration of that particular table, and this particular table is extended. other table that you have. So these are the requests which I created for myself, and if you go to table, it has extended the table from another table called as request task table. So that's also one of the good feature. You see that any table that you're going to create from a creator studio, it will extend that particular table from a request task table. And request task table, if I open it, so basically this is a creator studio task table, which extends from a task table. So the top table is task, then we come as request task, and then all the child tables which are created under the request task table. So this is one of the very useful information which I actually got to know once I created the application via Creator Studio, that we also have a base table called as request task, which is a Creator Studio task table. So if you actually want to see that what this table, you can open the table and see that it has created under Creator Studio application. So all the applications, custom application which are created via Creator Studio, it will go under this. It will extend always the same table. So you can check whether the extend table is request task. That means it is created from the Creator Studio. So I think that's all about from my side, Jerry. The demo.
No, thank you, Shamma. It's really, really, really good demo that you provided. And I wanted to ask a question just quickly. If I was a system developer submitting the app and I've created it, does that go through an approval process?
Absolutely. Yeah.
It does. Okay, that's great. We've had some comments actually come through, Jammer. So we've had one from Samara. So what she's saying that yeah, it's a great demo. Glad I made it. I wouldn't have thought to create an app using Creator Studio. And that's a really, really great opportunity that we've been able to share that on today's session. She's also asked, basically put another comment in saying, why does this workflow look so seamless?
Yeah, I think this is a very good thing that ServiceNow has given. The best part is that ServiceNow has given this feature on PDI, so any one of us can go ahead and do the research and do our hit and try and see that how exactly that Creator Studio and Playbook is all about.
Great. No, and we've got, thank you, Samara, for those questions. Got another question from Mohammed. He's asked, do we need any plugins for Creator Studio?
Yeah, so there is a plugin for Creator Studio. You have to activate that plugin for your PDI, and the name of that plugin is Creator Studio itself. So you just go to the plugin, you type Creator Studio, and you activate that plugin. Then you will have all the features available for you.
Thank you, Shamma. So I had some more comments from the chat. So I had Billy saying, thank you for the demo. Really, really great. Thank you, Billy. We've got one from Mahathi. It's a great demo. We'll definitely try out this feature. Thank you. And I've got another question from Akash is, are there less controls.config in brackets for tables created from Creator Studio?
I think the table created from Creator Studio is exactly same how we normally create the custom tables in ServiceNow. The only difference is that it extends the table from the request task. Otherwise, all the table entities are exactly same as we have the other custom tables.
Thank you, Shamma. Okay, hopefully Akash that's answered that question. Just give a bit of a shout out to some of the people that have joined in during our stream. Scott, thank you for joining. Great shout out as well. So Scott Carver from the UK. Right. So what we'll do next, Shamma, we'll move into our summary.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Absolutely.
Summary. So Shamma, what's your top 3 takeaways in terms of from this stream?
I think for me, the one thing that people who has less experience, they can actually go ahead and create the application on their own. It's a very good UI and also the workspace, right? So I would say that it is one of the very good feature that ServiceNow has launched, And now people with different kind of roles and responsibilities, they can go ahead and create their own applications without having much knowledge on the scripting. And yes, ServiceNow is growing. ServiceNow is coming up with so many new features. So yeah, I think we are here to explore those features.
I think, Gemma, I've learned something new today from the demo that you've shown me. So around the playbook, around how I suppose what Samara said is about the flow, where it's just a UI, very good user experience to drag and drop. Very, I suppose there's no code there. I couldn't see anywhere where you'll be doing any coding there, but it's more of a drag and drop. And again, very much from what we discussed around system developer, making sure you've got that plan, knowing what application you're going to be building, what business problem you are trying to solve by building an application. Again, is going to be adopted by the business. So again, if there's any kind of questions or comments from the stream or the session, or even if you're watching it back, add in your comments. So yeah, we can then hopefully, given some time, we can now skip to the summary part. So yeah, so give me one moment. Okay, so Shamma, any summary points from yourself around Creator Studio?
Yeah, I think from my side, it's I just want to cover that there is one plugin which is required for the Creator Studio. So you just have to go to a plugin and install the Creator Studio plugin. Once it is installed, you have to go to a application navigator. So under the application, under the app engine, under the
That's
app
correct.
engine, yeah, you can go ahead and write creator studio keyword. You will find that particular module in the app engine application, and then you can go ahead and create your own application. So I think, yeah, there are few rules which come up with that application, and a table which gets auto created when you create the application. So just go ahead and explore more on your PDI. It is available as free version for yourself, so you can go ahead and explore more on that.
Thank you, Shamma. And what we'll do, we'll just move to the closing section now as well. So moving over one moment. Okay, so I just want to probably add in some comments from the chat. I think Atu, thank you so much for some of your comments there. We've got excited for more updates on Creator Studio. So yeah, very much looking forward to see what Creator Studio has for us in the future, and really can advance some of our citizen developers to be able to create some of the applications.
Absolutely. I think thank you so much everyone for joining and for giving so much good feedback. I'm so glad to hear that.
Yeah, and I think just thank you, Akash, for your comment. You said great session. Thanks, Shamma and Jerry.
And thanks
So
for
thank you for
making this
that.
session so interactive that I could see a lot of questions coming from people. How exactly it works, how it is different from other things in ServiceNow. So yeah, I think this makes this session a very interactive one.
And it does, I think the more interaction that we get, Shamma, on these type of sessions, especially when it's live, and like I said, anything could go wrong. We could have technical issues, or hopefully we won't lose any internet connection. But because it's a live session and very much interactive, it's again, I love these sort of these demos and sessions. Again, we will look to plan some more of these sessions together, Shamma, won't we? Again, we are part of the Rising Star community, and we're looking again to do some more collaboration going forward. So yeah, very much excited to plan that going forward. We haven't got a defined schedule at the moment, but it's something that we are planning, and we'll provide some information up on LinkedIn and also on YouTube as well. So yeah, really want to say thank you so much for everyone's time, especially on a Saturday morning in the UK, or a Saturday afternoon in India, and also in the evening. And again, thank you so much for anyone that is watching back the recording.
Thank you everyone. Thanks a lot.
No, great. And Shamma, thank you so much for your time and also giving that excellent demo as well. I've learnt a lot today
Thanks
from
to
that.
you too as well, Jerry, for giving his perspective from the process owners that how exactly it is beneficial for them.
Okay, great. Just had one comment from William Khan. He's saying, yeah, please do more. So we will. I think again, because this is our first live session, podcast. Any feedback on how we can improve? We're always learning. Would be greatly gladly receive it. And again, we're looking to grow more in terms of this area. Great. Right. Well,
Absolutely.
we'll just go to the ending screen. So this will have our own QR code. Again, our stream is ending. So again, connect with us on LinkedIn, comment and subscribe. So I'll leave this on for about a minute or so. And me and Sham will go on mute.
Thank you.